To document some of these hidden underground structures that are not on the Project Riese map, Alex have been researching where the water runoff in the various surrounding forests are actually emanating from. So he wanted to show me all of these water drainage systems that were all built at the time of the war in strange places far away from all the known Riese projects. And I wish I could tell you what I'm looking at, but I really can't. So you're just gonna have to stay with me, because in this episode simply I wanted to show you things that are in places where they're not supposed to be, and structures that leads to underground water drainage tunnels that, well, we don't really know where the water's coming from, or who built them, or what they're doing in the middle of forests or hilltops that have no structures, no mines inside that we know of.
There is an extreme amount of water redirection of the mountains in pipes, not just letting it flow down the mountainside, but in well-constructed tunnels, some of them tall enough for you to walk in, or at least crawl in, as it has been. There are so many of these in places that should be no tunnels. There should be nowhere near Project Riese, nowhere near old mining tunnels, and yet there are these professionally cemented, reinforced, constructed underground water direction ways, tunnels, guiding water out of where? Why? If it's just a mountain, why would you need to build underground tunnels to funnel the water out of it? It would just come down and turn into a brook like everywhere else in nature. That is one of the things Alex has really been looking at.
So this is one of the more uncomfortable places we've gone to. Why?
Why? We will see why. We will visit it. Let's go.
I will say, he is an awesome guy. He spent a lot of time in the military. He's a wounded veteran, Polish army. He's a doctor. He's seen some things in his life, and this is his passion. And because he's one of the locals, people will talk to him that will not talk to me. Granted, I understand why people wouldn't want to talk to me. However, I'm an outsider. Everyone who comes here are outsiders. We'll get a story, or we'll get misdirection, or we'll get silence. I understand that. Especially in a place in a neighborhood, you also have to remember, it's not that many years, living memory, that the Russians and the Polish secret services left or were disbanded. But it's not that long ago since they would come for you if you stepped out of line.
Stupid things I do. I will take the next shot because I will shoot. I can take a shot.
Alex has spent a lot of time looking at mountains, and he and his groups are doing everything they can to get permissions to dig where the LiDAR and the GPR scans have showed them that there's tunnels. And I have quite a bit of hope that he will find something that I can show you, because they spend a lot of time out here actively looking. But they're not looking anywhere near the mainstream Project Riese tunnels, because, well, they're kind of the tourist status symbol. This is what the Germans left behind for everyone to see. And I too believe that there are tunnels near, under, or around the Project Riese tunnels that have not been discovered or have been really well covered up. And now that we've seen how you can cover up parallel to or underneath tunnels, you can do it. Certainly the Germans could do it, which opens up a whole lot more options of can of worms. Alright.
Always keep the camera in front of you to get rid of the spiders. Although I don't know what the hell a spider would do here. Except catch a ride on my head.
Walk first and we will then go to another type of shot.
Yes, I know. This is not a whole lot.
Last year they conducted renovation because old rope was visible. Previous I saw it, but now they secured this by cement. And before it was original rope.
Yes, there was.
Next chance, not or exit.
Well built.
Let's go first.
Hang on, I just gotta get the spider out of my hair. That seems to be giving
Oh, those spiders?
tons of them. We're friends
You
now.
worried of spiders?
No, I usually give them names. You alright? Yes, this is much better than walking upright above ground. There's tons of spiders in here, what do you mean?
One place, second, yeah. Come on, I'll show you. It is original installation. Original seal.
So this is old.
Yes, this is old and this
And then
just maybe last year it was secured, but
how old do you think this was?
I don't know, I have no idea. Sealing rope, natural material.
Well, you would think we could figure out when they stopped sealing tunnels for the road.
Same stone, like tunnel, under mały wołowiec is made.
Here's another shoe. Aha. Okay. Is that bigger?
This one is made of stone. Beautiful red stone from Nova Ruda.
What about this one? Mm-hmm. Oh, that. Oh.
This.
tunnel just to be directing the water.
There's another part. We were not yet in.
Sewage?
This is
Yeah. Water.
I want to install
Yeah.
water as well as everything.
So this is a very big tunnel just for water.
It's probably connected with the railway tunnel under małe Wołowiec.
This is much bigger than just a tunnel for water. Got a wooden dowel.
Stalactites.
You're the one that said there was no spiders. I don't really want to crawl all over that. You think there's anything there?
Obstacles. Oh, mouse is gone.
Yeah, well, he weighs a lot less than I do.
Mouse is good.
Can't blame him. Mud. Mud. Lots of mud. There's a tree you can hold on to. Tree on your head. Or not. Tall people. You know how they are.
Nice wall. On the right.
Yeah, really.
Nice wall.
Certainly is old. Remember how I always told you that people are actually watching what's going on here? We are in beautiful piece of woods, forest, it's gorgeous here. And then there's a piece of cement slab, and there's one camera.
And there's another camera. And there's a very large railroad spike.
Or
Oh, this is not a
railway.
this is not a railway spike. This is a screw.
It's for railway.
Isn't it? It's an old nail.
Old for old. When background of the railway is.
But I'm just like, you have cameras setting up in the middle of the forest for, well, what could be a tunnel or a shaft that is inaccessible to begin with. Down there's the railway, to the right is our tunnels, there's the water we were in, and we're standing on a mound of railroad stones, seemingly leading off to nowhere. It's always nice when nothing makes sense.
It's not the first time out here we see cameras set up in the middle of nowhere pointing seemingly at nothing. And then I found we are right near a tunnel system I recognize.
And remember the part I did about the railway tunnels? Well, here they are. And interestingly enough, one of the photos I took was taken from this bridge, from this angle. And where we were just crawling around underground, where we're looking for a spin-off railway, or spin-off rail off into the mountains, was just down here. Leading this way, where there was a pile of stone and for some reason camera monitoring. But now you know where. Down here are the railway tunnels that I made a hypothetical could have been set up to take Hitler's train. Now what was interesting about this little train station here, as I was just informed that Thomas Jurek found very special communication cables here that have of course been removed during the renovation, or what you want to call what happened here. And what is interesting about that is that whenever Hitler traveled, he had to have special communications prepared at the stations he might pull in to and from, so he could immediately be in contact with Berlin, with the front, with the army. So if there was a special communication cabling network set up here, that's definitely an indication that Hitler could at least have been planning to stop by here, which is about 10 kilometers from the castle, which is really not that far. Well, it definitely is an old rail station. It was here from the time of the war. And now there's less and less of it. Every year, signs from that time are deleted, taken away, reinstalled, renovated. And more signs just disappear. Even if it's something as small as an electrical cable, when it disappears in a renovation and is not logged, cataloged, photographed, tagged and bagged, it's gone from history forever. You don't find parts from the war that is hiding in foundations that turns into other tunnels that leads into mountains. The vertical rail tunnels just up from here were sealed off. This definitely doesn't look new. Sounds like a lot of water down there. No shit. This is how an old bunker wall looks. Yeah.
This way or that way?
Low level.
Low level, more water?
Huh? Low level water is here. Water is on the right. And here, it's full of water.
Well, it's not going very far. Well, I said that a little soon. This is
Looks
new.
like Riese. It shows.
You think this is new? Okay, this is interesting.
The roof. Okay, I see light. I think. Look at look at the.
See power coming from this pipe.
So that's runoff from the mountain.
Light from the mountain or light from the tunnel with machine. Rusted machines.
Yeah. I mean,
From the mine.
possibly. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Everybody's looking for a free ride. Here's the out. And it's muddy. Okay. Yeah, this looks perfectly safe. That's definitely not new. I'm not using sound. And there used to be a tunnel with an access into tunnels that oddly enough was bricked up because of the railway. What a shame. Because I mean clearly there was one here.
A year ago it was open.
And that was probably a little walking bridge over here or some sort of road bridge too, I would almost imagine. You've been researching and doing maps and looking at this whole thing.
Right.
At Riese for so long. And there's so many people that are focusing on the 7 Riese locations.
Yes.
What do you really think is here and what do you think it's going to take to get to the truth?
According to my observation of aerial photographies, aerial imagery, I and my friends, we found signs of objects located in different places as we can find today. So, my opinion is that objects open after war and they are with easy access for people. They are only made for the reason to focus our sight, our things in wrong place, because around of them can be ready, masked, camouflaged objects. It's my opinion.
And you're finding the same thing on LiDAR maps. You spend most of... You're a
Yes,
doctor and you spend
yes.
most of your time looking at LiDAR maps.
That's right. It's my hobby. It's just hobby. But some signs I saw in LiDAR maps as well. This is for me. This is a sign that pictures made by air imagery, reconnaissance fly, are showing true, because some of objects we saw on old pictures made from aircraft are visible a little in LiDAR. They are completely masked, camouflaged, but are visible.
And the aircraft that took these photos were not American or Russian.
No, this was German. This was German fly. Was conducted on the line from Hirschberg to Częstochowa, below Waldenburg, Wałbrzych, under Riese. This direction was from west to east. In my opinion, the reason they made it was not imagery, to take pictures, to make maps in the future. No, this was reconnaissance fly. They made it to assess effectiveness of masking process located on this terrain and on the line of Project Riese.
So the Germans were actually building something outside of the Riese projects.
I think so, it's possible.
And they were camouflaging it and wanted to see if that actually
This is not evidence, but this is one of elements of puzzles we are analyzing.
Which is the round bunker on top of the hill we're standing on. The Riese project is over there, in those mountains. And the mountains that are higher, taller over here, with better reception, theoretically, for antenna, guidance, communication, are over there. And nobody found anything over there, in these mountains, that actually looks like they're hospitable.
Locally, this is referred to as the bunker, but looking inside it and standing around it, I would assume this is a water tank. It's at high elevation, it makes the water flow, it makes perfect sense. Although I'm sure there are other theories as to what this would be, but from up here it does give us a very good vantage point over the mountains, the railroads, the labor camps. You can see from this top in all directions everything that sort of comes together. And then, of course, there's the communication part of these valleys.
So, okay, so on this field, over there, we have what looks like a modern communication tower. After the war, the Polish put up a communication tower in the same place. Now, if I were to speculate, I would say the Germans had a communication tower in that place, and despite they could have put it on a hill, on the hilltop, and have much better range, if they put it there, it would be impossible or harder for the Russians coming from that direction on the other side of the hill to monitor radio traffic, because the mountain will shield it from there. Is that about right? You can say yes a little louder, you know, the camera can't see you nodding. It's just amazing to see. This is one of the old camps. Wusste Gesthof, the old German fence. And the barbed wire poles pointing inwards, not outwards. And we're standing on, I think, for electricity or? Well, it had a had one coming up slightly sloped, and then the support cross beams from there to there. So yeah, I mean it was a fairly big tower.
So it made things stronger.
Yeah.
And then we drove for a while and walked for a long time. And this is my favorite. What exactly is this? It is in the middle of nowhere, far away from any known tunnels, and we really can't figure out how it got there or what it really was for.
So we are literally in the middle of nowhere. Yes. In the forest, God knows where, and there's a shaft leading straight down into, well, theoretically we're far away from the Riese tunnels and far away from, well, everything. And that's the thing about what used to be Lower Silesia. They're just strange things leading underground. I guess there's only one way of figuring out what's down there. That's to go down there. Well, I mean, you have to find out what is here. You have to find it before you can steal from here, if anybody want to do that. And then you have to figure out how to get something up from here if you want to steal from here. How's life? Fucking rusty ladder leading down into somewhere that's going to be really light.
Take care of camera, you scratch it.
Oh, no, that's fine. Just got a lens cover on there.
So,
And that's why I bring it back up.
and look, stay on this stick, on that stone, or on a metal on the side.
Alright.
Here's okay.
Okay, here. Alright, so what the hell are we looking at?
I told you, this is easy to remove. This, what is this in English? This?
Ladder.
Ladder. You see? Hook, and only 2 screws above.
Yeah.
Somebody will go out, unscrew, and removing is possible.
So we got removable ladders, and then we got an access panel down to an underground. That's interesting. And that's where it is. That's the panel, the door.
And this is a bar. Just to secure.
Why the hell would you want to secure a door from here?
Upper hooks, 2 upper hooks, and 2 lower hooks on the sides.
Yeah.
But second bar is in water, should be in water.
Yeah, there's a couple of... Why on earth would you want to secure something from the outside here?
Is secured from this side, is secured that people coming out from below will be not able to go.
Yeah.
If you lock it from here and you remove this.
You can keep people out and you can keep people in. But why would you want to keep people in?
It's easy to in.
Easy to
out,
in.
or if you'll be open, you go out and you can close, and another people will have no possibility to go out.
I mean, even if this is a technical tunnel of sort, which you would almost think it would be, because the water is not moving really. Have anybody been in here?
Friends? Yes, they were.
Do we know what's in there?
Somebody was and thought that was cable. Don't tell about it. You see you are recording.
Yes.
Stay here. I will go a little bit higher. And here is a good place. Look.
I was gonna do
You can
this.
stay here.
I was gonna do this.
And you will check it. Or stay on that bar. You see, this is very, very shallow.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I change. Thank you. So you can stay in my place. Maybe on the stick you can make it. This is vertical stick. Yes, it's impossible to.
Yeah, no vertical stick.
You have no stick.
No, that's why I hung it around me, because it's just.
Okay.
When I have ladders, it's just much safer
I will
to.
secure this bar.
No, stay where you are.
Oh, gotcha. Keep your feet. I will go to the side. You have more room behind you.
No, I got it. I got the end of the tunnel out there. This is perfectly clear. There's no smell. It is, what, 4 or 5 meters deep? Weirdest thing I've
How
ever
many
seen.
meters? No.
Huh?
It's 1 meter, maybe 1 meter. 1 meter, 30 centimeters.
I was actually.
1.2.
What I was trying to say is
If
it's
I
3 or
walk-
4. I was going to say 3 or 4 feet.
Water is to my belly.
Yeah, I meant to say 3 or 4 feet.
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 And there's a pipe. This was pipe. Pipe had filter. Filter is on the bottom. Somebody destroyed or maybe it's rusted.
Yeah, there's a pipe coming up under us here.
Pipe
Into the
is
water.
coming from water under our feet. It's going.
And it's turning when you get in there.
But,
It's starting to turn a little bit.
but in water should be filter part.
Yeah, there is. It's right there. So I see it under the water.
Or maybe somebody took it.
No, it's there.
I don't believe.
I don't think anybody would take anything from here. I think everybody would spend a lot of time trying to figure out what the hell it is.
There is movie from later you were here. Next time I sent you find I sent you address and you will find it on
And now when you ask yourself, why are we wandering up a hill in the middle of the woods and finding this strange? This could just be water drainage from the woods. Now, you don't just build water drainage from the forest for fun. You have to think about this as an underground structure. It was all poured cement. This is into rock. Even if it's built and designed to direct water in a specific direction, this was a project. Somebody had to burrow into the ground, dig this out, pour the cement, put the folds and the scaffold and everything up to construct this in the middle of seemingly nowhere. Why would anybody do this? And have support tunnels to keep the water at a level here? Unless there would be tunnels you would need this water drained from. And if you have tunnels from what we've seen, both at the Molke plant, Riese and everywhere else, they fill it with water unless you have a way to vacate that water. This would be one such way. Of course, if their witness, if as said, mentioned a electronic conduit inside, which makes it a whole different level of strange. But everything is strange. But this cannot just be forest runoff, because here is the little stream with the forest runoff that is running at some distance next to it. So 110 kilovolts of power.
one on the side.
So this is exactly where the old power lines were destroyed by the Germans, right next to where the new ones are. Once again, you see electricity ran in large voltage through the valleys where they are now.
My forester friends who've seen these has no clear explanation why these drainage tunnels are where they are, unless there would be a reason for them. So, just another mystery.
I hope you enjoy history and military history as much as I love bringing it to you. And if you want to see more of the photos and documents I've used for these episodes, documentation, so on, you can go to lostbattlefields.com. And if you feel like helping me out traveling around the world to some of these far-flung locations like Vanno and Brown's first test stand behind me, or Deepna's nuclear reactor down there, or the Maginot Line over there, you can donate on PayPal, protection@serviceint.com. It'll be right here, and it is also on lostbattlefields.com. You absolutely don't have to, but I appreciate any help, and I love all you guys for all the support you've shown me, because history is important. We all know that, and I'm going to bring it to you.